Hello. It's Deanya. I wanted to go over how to actually write a sonnet. Sometimes it seems like it might be magic. This last week on the weekly poetry challenge, I had asked you to take couplets, which are really quite simple, and look at them within a form and to try writing a sonnet. And then I remembered that when we did these sonnets in classes, they were really towards the end of the semester. They were really quite further out in the end of the semester after people had been reading quite a lot more poetry over it. So in order to kind of break it down and demystify the process, because I think a lot of people think that writing is something they can't do. What I want you to do is remember that writing is not the same as spelling. Writing is not the same as grammar. Writing is not the same as editing. All of these things are things that there now exists good AI and good word processing documents to help you, programs to help you do. What no one can do is tell your story. And so, don't be intimidated, especially by forms if you're looking to try to write poetry or you're interested in language and how poetry works. So I had written a sonnet in response to the poetry challenge. So what I want to do in this video is just very quickly take you through the process of what it was to break it down into steps of how I went about writing a sonnet and why it's really not so hard. It just takes some attention. Yeah, like everything in life takes attention. So the first thing I did was I decided what kind of sonnet I wanted to write. And so I looked at those different types, the Shakespearean, the Petrarchan, Milton sonnet, Spenserian, and then Dennis Johnson's sonnet. And I looked at how many different sounds they all used. And so when you look back at that sonnet challenge, you'll see Shakespearean sonnet uses 7 sounds. Petrarchan sonnet only uses 4 different sounds. Both Milton's and the Spenserian sonnets use 5 sounds. And Dennis Johnson's adapted sonnet, to my knowledge, uses 8 sounds, is what I've seen, how I've broken it down. I might have to look more closely at it. But I decided I wanted to use the fewest sounds possible and try to really reach and find words that fit those sounds. Now, you might decide you want as many sounds as possible. If you're a beginning sonnet writer, you might say, hey, that's too many trying to find the same sounds. Let me try to do one with this 8 structure. So take a look back and first off, choose the structure that seems to fit. Now, what you want to do is find something to write a sonnet about, because I used to have this wonderful poetry teacher mentor. His name's Peter McCook. You'll find a lot of his writing online. He was really a wonderful person, a wonderful teacher. And Peter would say, you have to be careful using big words in poetry because big words mean too much. Yeah. So like the word love just means so much. Family means so much. Truth, honesty, commitment. These words are big words. So if you can, try to find a way to say that very specifically so that it's not such a big concept. I don't really know how to break that down any better, but if you're looking for things to write sonnets about, you'll find a lot of sonnets about things like love and truth and whatever. You'll find a lot of teenagers writing angst sonnets. So, because they have poetry in high school or something and they have an assignment. So just when you're doing a sonnet, try to think of something that means something to you. And in my case, it was my FODMAP journey. This is a journey that I am on trying to learn how to eat correctly. And so I decided that I would take the vocabulary of this topic and write down all the words that are specific to this vocabulary. Now, when we're teaching people who are foreign language speakers to speak English, there used to be a vocabulary called Basic English, and basically it was 1,000 words. And they said that if you learn this 1,000 words, and then you learn any other 1,000 words around a particular topic, you can have a conversation in English about that topic. It's fascinating, but I found it could be true. Not much work has been done on basic English in the last 30 or 40 years. But what I did do is I took the vocabulary of FODMAP. And so FODMAP stands for fermentable, oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, polyols, FODMAP, gastrointestinal. I'm sorry, these are just the words that I use. That's not what FODMAP stands for. And then I took phrases like bloating gas, irritable bowel syndrome, fructans, excess fructans, concentrated sugars. And so I just took these phrases that already exist in the world and I broke them down. And you remember how we were even doing meter for a while, so I've kind of broken them down. I wanted to sort of get a feeling for their sound qualities. So I've broken them down to say whether they are stressed or not stressed, but you don't have to do that. What you should do is look at the sounds they end with. So bull, ides, ols, ap, null, ingas, tans, toes, sugars. So by looking at the sounds of the words, I decided which ones would make good end words, if any of the vocabulary of my topic would actually make good end words or good end sounds. And so you'll see they did. They really did. And so then the next thing that I did, after I took all the vocabulary I could think of that I wanted to use in my poem about my topic, I took all that vocabulary and I said, this is what the end sound is. Ide, alls, null, tan. Then I saw there are some repetitions there. So what I did next was I just took the side of the page and I wrote the rhyme scheme down on the side of the page that I was trying to achieve. So you can see on the side of the page, I just wrote that. And now you can see what a mess this real writing is. If you're a beginning writer, a beginning poet, you might want to use every other line. And when you write on every other line, then that will give you a full line between your writing to go back and change and add things of that sort, because you can see it really does get tight in there. Yeah, it really gets messy and tight in there. I copied something over, it got so messy. So the first thing I did was, go through, choose how many kind of rhymes I was looking for. I chose a low number. I decided on my topic, tried to find something that was a little unusual for a sonnet, and I think gastrointestinal problems is a bit unusual to write a sonnet about. So then I took all my words that I knew were part of the vocabulary of that. I broke them down for sound, the end sounds, to see if they were going to work as end rhymes or not. Finally, I took the rhyme scheme and put it here by the end of the paper so I didn't have to keep looking back to figure out where I was going. What am I trying to find? What is the sound I want to find by the end of the line? Okay, so I hope that helps to break down a sonnet and how to write one. Same kind of techniques will work for all kinds of end rhyme poems as we're working through other forms. But let me know if you need anything in the comments section. Ask questions if anything else is still on you. Whatever your hesitation is about beginning writing poetry, because poetry will really make you pay more attention to language. It's really just the concision of language, to make language very tight. So it's something we can all enjoy, and it's something that we can do sort of in our heads if you're driving around or if you have something else to do. You can kind of be thinking about lines for a poem and scribble something down, something you can share with us. So have a good one. Take care. I will see you, let's see. Yesterday was the new challenge, so tomorrow is the advanced part of the challenge, and I will also drop, it's a metaphor challenge, metaphor simile, and so speaking about something like that. So see you then. Take care. Hope you have a good vacation, a good time. Be free.